Hello, everybody.
Oh, hey. Oh, man, Power's in too. If he unputs his mic in, I'm like, oh, man,
Okay.
we actually get to talk now.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Radio Mythoverse for December the 19th, 2020. Christmas is right around the corner. It also means that this is a way for us to mark the fact that the most awkward year we can remember is finally nearing its end. There were lots of unusual adjustments, lots of bizarre, almost otherworldly shenanigans of every description you can think of. But we've got a lot done this year, and we've got a lot to look back on, a lot to look forward to. So at the beginning, you heard a little bit of Shred Kelly. That was taken from a live performance at the Royal on Baker in Nelson, British Columbia, back on January the 5th, 2011. That's a little show-stopping piece called Clawhammer Speed. It's basically a neat little blues riff that he plays over and over again, starting at a very slow, leisurely tempo and ending at a ridiculous speed that has the crowd jumping. It's fantastic. They don't really have that song on any album, so I was really lucky to find this bootleg. Anyway, hello folks, I'm Dan, editor-in-chief of the Mythoverse. Stream's been sporadic over the last couple of months. We've all been handling life stuff that came up, as well as handling behind-the-scenes Mythoverse things, but we've made it back tonight. It's a good time. Work is a bit chill, as most everyone's on vacation. It's a short work for me next week, and between that and the current state of things in general, it's a good time for me and everyone else, hopefully, to kick back a moment, take a breath, and relax. So with me tonight is Brett, our head of community outreach, and Matt, our lead writer. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Matt, you with us?
I just
Hey, what's up? I can't hear you, man.
writing. That's pretty much it.
Oh, you're just writing. We did get some good news, though. I believe I dropped it in our chat. Mythics issue 2, the campaign, the print run has been run off. It is complete. And hopefully next week it'll start getting mailed out to backers, and we'll start getting people receiving their print books. So you excited about that, Matt?
Absolutely. Can't wait for it to happen. It's been long waiting, and hopefully everyone gets their books by the end of the year, but there has been some delays with the mail carriers, so I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah, I understand. So anyway, so that's really good news. And the Hallowed Harvest campaign is right behind it. I've spoken with the folks at our printer, and it's next. So hopefully that'll get printed off next week, and it'll be right behind Mythics issue 2 in terms of getting the print books out there. So that would be a perfect way to end off the year. We've had 2 successful crowdfunds, 2 successful fulfillments, hopefully, and that'll allow us to lead into have a little bit of momentum for next year, where we launch Adobe Kroger Damon Commander issue 2, and we also have Matt. Is it okay to talk about the other plan that we have? With
we have a lot.
with regard to the prose anthology?
Tales from Mythoverse, prose anthology coming out.
Yeah, and when we say prose anthology, this is going to be a collection of short stories, written short stories, not comics. So we're going to give the creators in our community a chance to flex their writers' muscles and put out a bunch of really cool short stories. So that'll be coming soon too. So we already have our next year more or less planned out, the early stages of it anyway. Adobe Kroger Damon Commander number 2 has been done for a little while. It's 40 pages. It's a bit bigger than issue 1, but it's going to have a lot more going on this time, a lot more action. The body count's much higher. We're going to learn a little bit more about Adobe and her relationship with her team. A lot of fun stuff coming up there. So, and Mr. Brett, in terms of Changeling, where are we at with that one?
The last work in progress page I got from Victor was page 14.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we are
yeah.
planning to include something with Changeling issue 2. Is that correct?
Yeah, that would be it was going to be what was going to be Ginger's entry into Hallowed Harvest, but due to some bad timing, I mean for reasons I'm not at liberty to go into, she ended up missing the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we just didn't want it to go to waste. So we just said we just attach it to the Changeling #2 campaign, and it's it was just seemed like a good compromise as all around. As to when I'm hoping to I'm hoping to get it done, get everything done and launch the campaign within next year. Specifically, can't really guess at it, but I do want 2021 to at least close out with that, and that at least.
Yeah, I think we're in good shape all around.
Yeah.
We spent the last several months working out a way to improve our logistics and fulfillment, and we're going to try something with our next campaign to see how well it works out. I won't go into any details here, but I think it'll help us A, save time, and B, save a little bit of money. So hopefully that will be a good thing. If it works out, we're even going to be experimenting with Brian from the Rags team to see if we can make this work for him too. If we can, that would be fantastic. I would love to get that going, because he's been running into similar bottlenecks that we have with our printer, mainly because the printer that we decided to go with, due to COVID and all that, they're understaffed and overworked, and they're trying to service Rags, they're trying to service us, they're trying to service a whole bunch of other creators in addition to their on-demand store. So they are.
This is one of those. This is pretty much one of those problems you really only could have gotten around if you were doing all the printing in-house.
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, most people can't. It's too much. It's just too much money involved.
And not only that, time. I can't get into the printing business. I don't have enough hours in the day left to devote to it, nor space at home to get it set up. So for the foreseeable future, I'm definitely going to have to rely on third parties to do this. But
I definitely have the time, but I don't have the space in my apartment or the money to buy a printer.
Yeah, we're not going to do the same thing over and over again and hope it works better next time. We are trying something different next year, so hopefully it will be better. But that's 2021. A lot of things are all set to go. Like I said, Adobe Kroger #2 is finished, so this campaign will basically be a pre-order, and there should be no delay at all from the close of the campaign to getting A, your digitals, and B, your prints. So, another Mythoverse news. I recently put up the Mythoverse creation myth on our Patreon. This kind of fills in the very first part of the Mythoverse history. We've been spending the last year and a half, Matt and Brett have been working tirelessly to get the mythos together to make it coherent and consistent. But the one thing we were missing was, how it all began. So I jumped in and threw that together, and that's up on our Patreon. I narrated it too. It's about 18 minutes long, and you're able to listen to it for $1. And I say this because I'm currently writing the second chapter, which details what happens immediately after everything began, and how all the different realms that Matt and Brett have delineated in our mythos, how they came to be, and how the powerful beings in those realms came to be, and why they came to be the way they did, and how that all fits in with a little creation story we have. So we're building in what can be said is our own little Silmarillion, not nearly as robust or detailed, but we're making this up as we go. but I think it's pretty good. So that will be available. The chapter 2 will be available for patrons shortly, perhaps early January. And when that's up, I'm going to go ahead and put the chapter 1 up on YouTube so that everyone can have a listen to at least chapter 1. So that's really good. In other news, we've been up on Global Comics for about we're going on 2 weeks now, and we've already got a lot of traction up there. If you have a book in digital format, we highly recommend this site. The tools are fantastic. It's a great way to get your book in front of people's eyes, and we even got a little bit of revenue from them yesterday. So it does work, but you do have to put in the work. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But right now, I'd like to segue over. We have a special guest tonight. He is the creator of Clayman, an independent comic superhero. He's released 2 print editions featuring this character so far. They're both one-shots, and one of which features a crossover with another independent comics creator. So, everyone, say hello to Clay. That's how I'll refer to you. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic.
Well, I'm really glad to have you on. We had you on a little while ago, and you had a great time, and I wanted to bring you back on to talk about Clayman and to talk about all the stuff that you have going on with Clayman. But in particular, and we'll get to this in due course, I want to talk about your plans to launch an Indiegogo campaign for your first 2 print volumes that I just talked about. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap over the view and let everyone have a look at an early rendering of Clayman. And I believe this is one of the first ones I ever saw.
Yep, this is the very, very first version of Clayman ever.
Yeah, and my thoughts here were like, wow, I'm taken back to the 90s MTV Max cartoon series. And that's what immediately drew me to the character was, that already iconic grin on his costume. So without any further ado, I'm going to shut up and let you talk a little bit about Clayman for us. So go ahead.
Okay, so Clayman was an idea I had around my birthday, October 7th, 2 years ago, back in 2018. I was like working out in my gym, not my gym, in my basement. I was a hot sweat, and I'm like, you know what? I want to make something. I want to create something. I don't want to just do nothing, like in my early 20s going in. So I'm like, I'm going to go make a comic book. My friends Brett's making a comic. My friend Cody, who does Jack Irons, is making a comic. I see like my friend Carl, who's doing Deathsworn's making a comic. I see my other friend Robert doing Tom and Artie. And I'm like, these guys, they're doing comics. I want to do a comic. And so like, I kept typing and making up all these like Google Doc sheets about what I wanted to do. And then, about a couple weeks, months into it, I'm like, all right, I got I met this guy. What was his? I think his name was Panzer, and he was like, okay, I want to make this guy. He's like, okay, sure, just give me some refs. And I'm like, I have to brainstorm again, go through the works, find going with the character, and then bam. After that, I kept showing it. He kind of winged it, and then bam, that was the first concept of Clayman sprung up.
So you literally started from scratch, from zero. You just sat down and said, I want to make something happen. I want to make a comic. I want to make a comic with an awesome superhero. And you just sat down and hashed out your ideas, refined them, and continuously added to them and improved them. And when you were satisfied, you gave the concept to this artist, and that resulted in this illustration right here.
Yep, exactly.
So wow, you really did build the foundations up before you got started. That's impressive.
Yeah.
So from here, you have this concept drawing. Talk us through what happened after that. You have all these Google Docs. You have all these ideas. Do you have the character's personality fleshed out at this point to the form where it will eventually take? Or has he evolved slightly since you got to this point with this illustration?
In terms of, definitely in terms of illustration and design, he's evolved. In terms of his personality, is like, I think originally is like, I just wanted to make him this kind of meek, Weasley kind of coward character. But then I was looking up at pages of like Ultimate Spider-Man's Peter Parker, and I'm like, this would kind of be, I would kind of want to do that, kind of the cool kid, and then kind of incorporate that into him. He could still be cool as a kid, but he's even cooler when he's as Clayman.
Okay. That's neat. So it's like while he's got his mask on, he's able to sort of assume another identity. So I'm going to bring up another illustration really quick.
Yep.
And okay, so when the stream catches up, what I have on screen right now is an illustration of Bobby Bob Radish. Now,
No, Bobby Rob. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Rob. Okay. Sorry, that's not.
Yeah.
Bob. Okay, so is this Clayman's alter ego?
Yep. This is his human alter ego. Basically, what he was before he became Clayman.
Mm-hmm. So as you can see, he looks, like you said, he looks like the kid who was trying to sell me Encyclopedia Britannica on TV when I was a kid. So you said he was pretty meek. He was a bit of a perhaps a low status, shy individual.
Yeah.
And it looks to me, based on this illustration, that he has a bracelet or a trinket of some kind that he activates to form his costume.
Yeah, that was like, originally when I went through the scripts, there was no such thing as a kind of a brace-like device, but like when Ivan Fiorelli or like the main artist for Clayman, he just incorporates these kind of ideas, and then like me, he wings stuff, and then when I look at most of the time, I'm like, yeah, this is amazing. This is like, I'm gonna keep this, because if you can let your artist or let your other teammates in your comic team incorporate these elements, and then it's all good, then yeah, you guys are unstoppable.
Yeah, artists are, like you said, they're creative people too, and sometimes they can spontaneously create something which might inspire you to new ideas that you might not have otherwise had. The example I always go back to is Han Solo improvising the "I know" line in Empire Strikes Back, which was not in the script, but he just said, this is something the character I feel would say, and hence that's a moment we all remember. In this case, you're saying your original designs did not involve him having this bracelet or this trinket, but your artist gave you this concept sketch of him using it. And is this something that has remained with the character since this concept? Does he?
Oh, well, I was going to say is that the bracelet itself was in the concept. The only thing, of course, is it didn't make him transform with the costume. But yeah, the bracelet, I didn't expect them. I thought it was the bracelet too was not colored like that. But I think it's the coloring itself is perfect. It's it's like that, but to incorporate the white and red to give it that Clayman theme is it's good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So so tell us a little bit for those who have never heard of this character before. If you were going to pitch this character, what are his abilities? What are his goals? Tell us a little bit about his setting. What kind of a world does he find himself in? And what problems does he aim to solve with his superpowers? And what challenges does he usually come up against?
Yeah, so I'll try to answer all your questions. So let's see. So for his superpowers, it's kind of ordinary. He's got superhuman physical attributes around the 25-ton range. He can control his shape-shifting, so he can control between his human and mutant form. People kind of got confused about the shape-shifting, thinking he could transform into other animals or whatever, basically do a Plastic Man thing. I kind of gritted my teeth and be I don't think he could do that yet. So take it as you will. I think for what I always wanted to that's a good question too, about how does he get started into a superhero career, or why does he do what he do? I think I would do it how Barry Allen's Flash is. He gets his powers, he experiments with them, and then realizes that I don't need some global agenda like, oh, his something bad didn't happen to him or any of that. He just does it because he feels it would be right to do so.
I like that. I mean, yeah, a superhero doesn't have to have a trauma that gets him started, or he doesn't have to lose his parents or his planet. Maybe he just thinks, hey, I've got these powers, I'm able to help people, so I should help people. Does that seem about right?
Yeah, it's like an important thing too is that like by the end of his arc, which will be around like issue number 6, issue number 7, there will be something that will happen to him that will extend it. So like he does the superhero stuff, but then like he gets something that'll push him more into doing, yeah, I need to do this because this is serious now. Attaining like a quote unquote certain supervillain that's gonna make him like think like this.
Gotcha. Okay, real quick, Neostar joined us and does his greeting. Yep. Thank you, Neostar. It's always a pleasure to see you join us. I'm glad to have you. So, well, that's fantastic. So you mentioned his strength is around the 25-ton range. So I have an image up here right now where he's lifting what I'll assume is a truck or a car.
Yeah.
Okay. And he looks like he's having no trouble with it at all. So he absolutely can lift around the 25-ton range. I'm assuming that he could lift, a medium tank at the very least.
Yeah.
Okay, so does he ever get into a situation where he doesn't quite, like, let's say when he first starts out and he's gauging his powers, does he ever let his strength get away from him because he hasn't learned his own limits yet?
What I'm excited for is like even with the first kind of mutant that Clayman faces is that like he's still like he hasn't really tested his limits yet, and like the mutant has a certain superpower that does like give him a bit of a challenge. Like me and my editor Mercy, we had a ton of fun doing that kind of encounter because like it's both a rookie hero versus kind of rookie mutant villain. And we just kind of experiment when I'm like, yeah, this is good and this is good,
Mm-hmm.
So like again, that was fun to do. And then as the issues go on script by script, like again, we had fun with it. I was a bit afraid like with issue number 6, like how that fight was gonna go in, but like the way I wrote and the way Mercy handled it, like powers and versus powers and skills and abilities. He's like, yeah, I think Clayman would go for that situation. So I'm like, oh, so like, so we just kept it,
Mm-hmm.
But it was exciting to do it,
Yeah. So you mentioned issue 6. So you have that many issues already scripted out?
Yeah, we basically got the first arc finished. We got the arcs. We got that arc fully written and fully edited.
Beautiful. Now,
yeah, I know, man. I'm sorry.
No, that's fantastic. You guys have really put in the work. Like this isn't something like you're not just showing off a bunch of pinups. You've run around the block several times to get this done, and you already have 6 issues scripted. So when someone goes to back you, I mean, that's proof positive they're going to get a product that's already well underway. So. Now I don't want to segue just yet, but these first 6 scripts that you just mentioned, are these separate from the Patreon comic and the crossover comic?
Yes, they are. These are basically the mainline Clayman oriented comic stuff. So like the one shot and the one shot and the crossover are separate.
Okay, so they're kind of, I guess you might call them previews or to whet your appetite.
Yeah, basically, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so they're appetizers before the main meal, and you've already got this all scripted out. So real quick, Neostar says it's always fun pitting different powers and techniques against each other. It makes for very fun and cerebral battles. Yes, absolutely. To your point there, Neostar, one of the reasons I really liked reading Spider-Man is, yes, he was a very strong hero, but most of the time his villains were stronger than he was. So he couldn't just punch them out. He had to outthink them a lot of the time. And a lot of times he used his brain to work around their weaknesses, often to great effect. And that always made his battles really fun. And from what I'm gathering here, we're in for similar treats when Clayman goes against the inexperienced supervillain. So that's really cool because both of them are more or less learning their limits, learning their abilities. So this design here, where he's lifting the truck, this hooded design with the belt and the straps, this is not his current design. Am I correct?
That's like basically the prototype costume he has, and then like the main suit. I call it the mainline suit. He doesn't get that until like a while is like but like not to spoil, but yeah, his costume is gonna get his prototype costume is gonna go for rips and tears. I have discussed some people what it's funny because like everyone likes the prototype costume more than the mainline costume. And I'm not mad about that, just like surprised.
Yeah, so to your point here, I swapped over to a new image that shows the mainline costume on the left. Is that correct?
Yeah, mainline is on the left, the prototype's on the right.
Yeah, and I remember remarking last time that I really liked the prototype costume just because, the hood gives it a little bit of character that you don't normally see in a superhero. But I definitely see that the mainline costume on the left is much more streamlined and probably a bit more practical because, in essence, what purpose does the hood serve other than to look cool? And the straps don't really serve him any purpose. So when you're moving around a lot and you need full mobility, you probably would want to go for a suit like the one on the left. So I understand where you're coming from. I do like the look of the prototype suit, though. That's just my own personal preference, but I can see why the design was modified. So these two drawings. Tell us about the artist who did this. Is this the artist that is doing the paneling for your main series?
Yeah, so Ivan Fiorelli basically did the line art. He basically did everything but the coloring. Itchy was the one who did the doing the coloring, and I think someone else did like the lettering for this. I think Pointman Comics. Yeah, Pointman did the lettering for this. And that was nice of him though. And he put in the one of the lines Clay is probably going to say in the comics in the future. Like I thought, and I'm so happy though that line works with what I was happening.
Mm-hmm. So are you talking about Have No Fear, Clayman is here?
Yep.
Okay, so is he? Neo might like this because Neo has a character that does this sort of thing, where he'll have this catch paragraph, if you will, when he announces himself into battle. So is that something that Clayman does, where he throws out a catchphrase when he engages the enemy?
It's like right now it's been a while since I've checked the scripting for like the current arc, like the first arc, but yeah, I think like again he's gonna get more and more confident with his like image and what he says when he fights. So like it's gonna be interesting. Like I think around I hope people like issue 3 or 4 when he comes up with his name while he fights a villain, and like it's the way that he gets his name is like I hopefully it gets the reaction that I want, that people will like roll their heads back in laughter. It's because me and Mercy were laughing our asses off when we came up with that about how we got actually, it's like when I first concepted it, I'm like, that's how he gets his name.
Yeah, don't don't spoil that. Let's save that for the readers too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like I can't spoil it.
Yeah, there are moments like that you have to see cold to appreciate them, because describing it just isn't the same as seeing the art combined with the
letter.
Yeah, like there was a couple of times where I really wanted to describe this panel in issue 7 of Rags and I can't, because I would ruin the panel by trying to describe the joke. Like it's just something that has to sucker punch you, and seems to me like that's what you're going for here. So definitely don't spoil that. So one thing that I'm noticing here, and I think this is one of the most iconic things about Clayman, is his grin. So what made you decide to give him this gigantic grin as part of his costume? Would you just like the look of it, or?
It was a mix of me, getting the it's like in my head I was like, I like the look of it, and then also like I obviously got a lot of inspiration from My Hero Academia and how like All Might like how he does his line of like superhero work is that like the smile helps ease people and their troubles concerning supervillains when they attack. When they see him and they see that smile, they ease and feel like comfortable. So it's like I think that's exactly what I wanted to do for Clay. Is like the mask helps people ease their woes about the supervillain issues because you know you got this guy who's got this positive energy radiating off of him and this costume, and it's like, yeah, it can work.
Okay. So so he doesn't start out with a name, as you said. He gains his name in the middle of a battle. So
Yep.
what does he call himself before he calls himself Clayman? Does he call himself anything?
Nope, he doesn't call himself anything. Like people are just like he just comes in during those few issues. He just comes and goes and helps people, and then people, you know, people are start to get interested about who he is. You know, there's a few cops trying to get him. It's like you know he's way too fast. They can't get him. You know.
Fantastic.
We gotta ask you some questions. Nope, gotta go.
Yeah, it's ain't got no time for that. So
I ain't got no time for that.
I got superheroing to do.
Yeah.
All right, so you got your first 6 issues scripted. Great. So so that's what we can expect in the future. But for right now, there are a number of ways that people can check out what you've already got done, and you have, as we said, you've got your one shot and you've got your crossover book, and I've seen both of those in print, and they look really good. So let me go over here to oops. Okay, so I swapped over to a tweet where I'm talking about the stream, and I did that so everyone can have a look at the cover for the crossover book. Now this is Clayman and Demon Hunter Raven. So now Demon Hunter Raven is a book that I've backed a couple of times because I absolutely love the concept of it. So tell me a little bit about how this crossover book came to pass.
It's quite simple, really. It's like the creator Nicholas was like we just kept talking. You know, I showed my stuff. I guess like you know I saw Nicholas's stuff, and then he just got really curious and interested, and then we just talked, and then a couple weeks later we were like, it's like, dude, I gotta make a crossover comic of this. It's like I want you to write it. It's like, are you serious? It's like, let's do it. It's like, okay, we'll do it. And then and later, like we got it going, you know. It was like very fun to do.
I see. So Nicholas wrote this?
Well, I was the one who wrote it. Nicholas did everything else. He drew everything, colored everything, and lettered everything.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah.
So it was a full-on collaboration.
Yeah, and I was surprised because, like, again, I never thought I could do something like this, and I did. And then it's like I got Mercy to edit it. He said like it was very good, the script, and it just how it goes. Yeah, the robots are taking over the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, no bots come in again and asking like, "I want to become famous."
Oh yeah. Well,
I hate those so much when I stream.
Yeah, can't be helped. Neostar says Nicholas is a great dude. I agree. He does a lot to help out his fellow creators, spreading the word and all that. I hope to do a crossover with him someday too. Well, why not, dude?
Yeah.
Why not? Get your project into a good place, or just continue reaching out, and who knows what'll happen. You just got to work at it. So that's this crossover. Now, this was not the first book that you made. This was this came after the one shot, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So how many pages are there in the crossover?
Okay, as far as I know, the crossover has about 6 pages in total, excluding anything else, and then the one shot has 12 pages.
Nice. So you already have almost 20 pages of story content based on this character already available that that your readers can check out. And there are a number of ways that you can get to them. Primary one right now would be your Patreon, correct?
Yeah, right now it's like if anyone wants a what was it? If anyone right now, like excluding the Indiegogo, is like if anyone wants a physical of Clayman, they have to go through the Patreon the Patreon and go for the $20 the $20 tier on there. If they don't want to do that, I do offer it digitally on Gumroad. And if they're really straggling for cash, and I know it's like a heartbreak, but I do people can read it for free on Tapas or Webtoons.
Mm-hmm.
Tapas, yeah, you can read the one shot on Tapas, and then you can read the the crossover Webtoons. I do have it on Global Comics too. I'm hoping to get some stuff from there, but again, you really got to put in the effort to do that.
Yeah, you really do. Those are all great platforms, but as you said, they're only as good as you make them for yourself. You can't just drop your work on any of these platforms and sit back and do nothing. You gotta. It's a means for people to easily read your book, but you have to, make sure everyone knows it's there, first of all. Second of all, make sure that you're excited about it as you want everyone else to be. And just from hearing you talk about your work, it's obvious you're very passionate about this project. And so,
Yep.
and so anyone that has the remotest interest in checking this out should be made well aware that this is made by a team that loves it and will continue to make it as long as they're able to make it. And if you get the support you need to keep making it, then we'll keep seeing new Clayman. So
Yep.
real quick, I just want to go through your Patreon so that everyone who is interested in checking it out knows what's available. Because not everyone can donate the $20 per month, but every little bit does help. So
Yep, exactly.
So
I do have a few promotional stuff, but I'll do that after we talk about the Patreon.
Sure, yeah, we'll talk about. I also want to get the links to Gumroad and your Global Comics profile. If you can go ahead and DM those to me, I'll drop them.
Yeah, I'll
in the
DM
chat.
to you. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Okay.
All right, so while you're doing that, on his Patreon, he has 4 tiers currently. Okay, so the newcomer tier is the $2 per month tier. And what you get is a personal thank you video for pledging. You get access to his Patreon feed, and your name will get mentioned in the credits of his comics and description of his YouTube videos and Twitch streams. So it's a way to get a quick little acknowledgement and a thank you for helping him out. Okay, the next tier is the $5 tier, and that is the supporter tier. Thank you. I just got the links, so I'll drop those in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for $5, you get access to everything in the $2 tier, and you get access to the Patreon-only room on Clay's Discord. And Clay will invest his time to play with patrons bi-monthly, guaranteed, excluding streaming. Access to a special Discord room to see Clay's comic content before anyone else. And plus, you can take part in a bi-monthly Q&A involving Clay's comic projects. At the $5 tier, you also get a digital PDF copy of Clayman's main series / one-shots / side comics sent to you. Must have an email, obviously. Okay, that's cool. So if you want to read the books and support Clay at the same time, $5 a month gets you that, which is a fantastic deal. At the $10 tier, we have what's called the investor tier. So you get everything from the $2 and $5 tier, and you also get to take part in an exclusive patron-only stream, bi-weekly / bi-monthly. You can ask Clay what color some of his black and white pieces should be, and Itchy5 will color it. It may not be the original color scheme of the intended piece, not including crossover pages. Okay. And now here's one we were talking about. This is the big one. This is the producer tier. So at $20 per month, you get everything from above. You get to take part in Clay's YouTube channel when he needs a co-op or multiplayer buddy, which can be seriously fun.
Yep.
You gain access to Clayman content that is available outside of Patreon, such as art or videos. And here's the thing. You get a physical copy of Clayman's main series comics when they are available. Obviously, you have to give them your shipping address. And you get to take part in a sketch request event every once a month. You have a character drawn or have the character be drawn and have them doing something awesome. Must be safe for work, and you must have a reference to the character. So this is the tier that will let you get copies of both books. That includes the one shot and the crossover, which is about 20 pages of story, and there's also some bonus pages of artwork in those. And more importantly, you get to hold physical copies of Clayman's books, and you get to seriously help out Clay and Itchy to create more of this stuff. And that's the goal right here. That's the the main goal of Patreon is to provide creators with not necessarily like a store, but a means of support and regular income so they can go on making the stuff that you love. So if you are interested, I'm going to drop the link right here in the chat for his Patreon, and that has everything there that we just talked about. So let me next go to Gumroad and let everyone have a look at that. And I'll drop the link in the chat right there. So gumroad.com and then the rest of it, just a series of characters. So I won't try to read it out. But here you can see this thing that we're showing right now. This is the cover art for the one-shot book. Okay. And that is a gorgeous cover. Now Clayman looks almost like a super deformed or chibi version of himself on this cover. Is this more of a humorous book than anything else?
Yeah, it was like surprise. I was a little bit. I was actually a little bit iffy at it at first, but then I was like, the way that the artist Sonny was doing it, I was like, yeah, this actually might work. You know.
I mean, it definitely does grab you and make you wonder what's going on, because again, you know, his mask is very distinctive. It almost brings to mind a Deadpool or something like that. So this would definitely grab the reader's attention, and the artwork has a very heavy indie vibe to it, with the strong, almost jagged hatch lines here on the inking, and a very solid use of the spotlight would create this harsh shadow behind the characters here. So it looks like that the harsh spotlight, kind of emphasizes that Clay is caught in the act of doing something, and he's surprised by it, and he's all of a sudden he's the center of attention. So here on Gumroad, if you go ahead and drop 99 cents in the bucket, then you could get the cover art, 12 pages, and the Patreon thank you page. So that's a good amount of content there for 99 cents, and this is the quality of the art you can expect, because the same artist did the interiors. So very, very good stuff there. So that is
I don't lie about my covers or interiors. It's all the same.
I'm in that same boat with you. Unless it's a special variant, I make sure that the interior artist draws the cover. Just want to make sure that when people see the cover, they know what to expect inside. So this here is also Gumroad. This is the crossover book. So I'll go ahead and drop the link to that in the chat as well. Okay, so this is again the same thing, 99 cents, and you can read the crossover book. And here's the cover that we just looked at. And there you go. So this is the Clayman crossover with Demon Hunter Raven. You can read it on Gumroad for 99 cents. Okay, next, let's go over to your publisher page for Clay's Comics. Okay, so on this page here, now for those who aren't familiar with Global Comics, now what this site is it's a means for creators to share their books digitally with a large community of readers. And you have the option, when you enter as a creator, to either put the entire book up there for free, or to offer a certain number of pages for free. And the way that it works from there is, readers can either purchase a premium membership on the site to read the rest of your book, and the amount of pages read is then split between you and the site. So, like, let's say a person uses their subscription to read 50 of your pages, then a certain percentage of the revenue generated from that from that user's profile is then divided up to you. In addition to that, it's kind of like a Kindle Unlimited. It's almost an identical model to that. In addition to that, you can also offer your support to a creator. The creators that have this feature enabled, there is a support button underneath their profile picture, along with a monthly goal that they would love to hit. And when you go to support a creator this way, you enter what's called the Superfan program, affectionately. And they ask you to donate a minimum of $3, but you can designate however you want and whether or not you want to repeat it monthly. And the benefits to being a super fan is obviously you get to read all of the content that's behind a paywall. But you also are able to participate in early releases, which is pretty neat. I spoke directly to the admins of the site, and they said that they want to enable creators to offer exclusive content only to super fans, but that is something that may be implemented early next year, like by the end of Q1 or so, but they aren't sure yet. But as for right now, the main benefit of being a super fan is that a creator can post a new book, like let's say Clayman X Demon Hunter Raven, and they can put up to a 14-day early release schedule on it. So if you're a super fan, you get to read the whole thing 2 weeks before anyone else does. So it's a great way to support the creator and get to read all the books ahead of time. So Clay put both the crossover and the one shot up on Global Comics, and they are currently both completely free to read there. But it took a lot of work to make these, so if you read these on Global Comics and you like it, drop a tip. That way they'll know that people appreciate their work, and they'll get another market signal that they should make more of it. So very, very cool. So you've definitely been working very hard. You've got Clayman on a bunch of different platforms. You've been shouting it far and wide, and this is not the last of it. One of the things we're here to talk about tonight in particular is that you're planning an Indiegogo launch for both of these books to be delivered in print. Is that the main goal?
Yep, the main goal is like just to get these out physically printed and out to backers. Like I'm very, very nervous. Obviously, this is my first ever Indiegogo campaign, but I am getting like massive amounts of help from people far and wide. They'll have my back to help get these printed and then get them out to the people, obviously. So like hopefully it all goes well.
Yeah, drop me a link to the Indiegogo and I'll put it in the chat real quick.
Yeah, I'll put in like all the links. So I'm gonna put in like the I'm gonna put in the let's see, I'll put in the Indiegogo, and then I'm gonna put in the person help let's see, I'll put in the person like help me out with the printing situation, and then I'll also put in like the GoFundMe to help out with the funding the cover, and then the first 5 pages, and then another page that'll be used for a promo for Clayman issue number 1.
Okay. Yep, I got all the links. So the first link I'm gonna put in this chat right here is the link to your Indiegogo, and I'll bring that up on the screen right now so we can take a quick look at that. Okay, so right now it's in a pre-launch page, but you can sign up. I'd put your email address here and sign up early, and you will be notified when the campaign launches. So if you're interested and you're going to want to get these 2 books in print, and I recommend them, they're a lot of fun, go ahead and check this out and sign up here and let Clay know that you're interested. And the more people that sign up early, probably the less nervous he'll be to launch. And I know it's a very public way to fail if you fail, but don't see it that way. I know it can be nerve-wracking and nail-biting, but what I always tell people that are nervous about crowdfunding is think of this as market research. Like right now, you're literally selling something that may or may not have a market yet, and you're trying to determine if there is a market for it. And if you succeed, great, you found your market. If not, then you can say, maybe I gotta work on building my market a bit more. Maybe I'll try it a little bit different next time and see what happens. But yeah, don't see it as anything other than a chance to discover your market for your work. Because our very own Matt Trin did that very thing. He launched his initial Mythics campaign, which came just shy of the goal, but he immediately reconfigured, pivoted, and relaunched it to success. And he didn't do the exact same thing the second time. He put in some new ideas. He tried some new things, and he made it work. So that's really all I can say. If you have a book and you want to get it out there, crowdfunding is a great way to get everyone's eyes on it, and to also measure the interest for your product. And like I said, if it succeeds, great. If not, then see how you can drum up more hype next time. See if you can work on your marketing efforts a bit more. It's a learning experience.
Yep.
So I think you'll do fine. But the more people that sign up here, the easier it'll be for him when he does launch. So check it all out and enter email address and sign up there. Okay, so I'm going to put in the link to Matthew Veely. He's the gentleman who's helping you in what way again? Explain.
Basically, he's kind of doing printing, distributing. He's kind of made it his and in terms of his marketing, basically, he's made it like clear that like, I know there are some very like, there's some inexperienced and scared comic goers that are scared to like, get their stuff printed to people because they're afraid that they'll get the addresses wrong and get their stuff printed wrong. Is like, I just want to help them. Like, I want to do most of the brunt work so they don't have to stress over that, basically.
Yeah, that was kind of the role I played during the Hallowed Harvest campaign. Our very own James Stern dreamt up that campaign, got all the creators interested, and I handled the boring stuff so they could focus on drawing their stories. And I took over handling the printing and the distribution there, so they just have to worry about making the pretty pictures and making the good stories. That's all I wanted them to be concerned with. So that's wonderful. So when do you plan to launch your Indiegogo campaign?
That's a good question. Right now, it's like from what me would talk with Matthew. He says like he's like spewing out some really really awesome ideas to get with the physical editions. If everything goes right, I hope to get. A part of me says Christmas, but I don't think that would be a very good idea, in my opinion. Like, I definitely want to release it. The time I want to release it around at least 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, around that time frame. But either like probably late December or definitely early January if I can.
Okay, I'm with you. I don't think launching it over the Christmas break is a good idea. I mean, most of the time people are spending time with their families and they've already spent a lot of money on Christmas. I know I have. So it might be better to launch early next year. That's what I plan to do with our next campaign. So yeah, I think you got good instincts in this, and it looks like you got some good help here. Matthew Veely seems to know what he's doing, so I have high hopes for your campaign. Just don't let it stress you out. Just go and have fun with it. And basically, it's just going to be a month or two of you just doing what you're already doing, just telling people about Clayman and getting them hyped up for it. So you'll probably, need to go on a lot of streams and get people chatting and run some campaigns on Instagram or Facebook, and just keep tweeting about it and keep pushing it. And above all, just make sure you don't lose your enthusiasm for it. You got to be your own advocate, because if you're not excited about your work, people can tell, and you're definitely excited about your work, so I don't think you'll have much trouble. So what kind of a goal were you after?
In terms of like how much money I want out of this?
Sure.
That's a good question. Me and Matthew came to talk about it, and I think I said we went like, we were just spitballing ideas. I think like we tried to do like from 500 to 2,000 even, and I was like, he wanted 500, I wanted 2,000, and I think like, and he rightfully so said, oh yeah, I think you should just go 500, because then it's like that'll be enough money at least to like save, you won't have to worry about like paying out of pocket just in case, and also that'll be enough for you to like pay off like on possibly like some obviously not all pages for Clayman issue number 1, because like right now, like I'm just hoping, like even now, I'm just hoping I get my stimulus so I can pay at least the cover, because like that's how much out of pocket, like no money I got right now. I'm sorry.
Well, also, printing and distribution is not cheap, even for a small run. So you got to figure for even a medium-sized run, that can run you anywhere from $700 to $800 to print and mail out. So just keep that in mind. Like 500, like for a book that's already been produced, what this is going to essentially be is an online store for you, where people are ordering a book that's already available. So you don't have to worry about paying an artist to produce the book, but you do have to worry about paying to get it printed. It is full color, you know. It's not a large amount of pages, but it's still not free. So,
yeah, well, especially with the idea we had in mind is that the book is going to be what's going to make this book special is that it's going to be a combined book. So it's going to be like around altogether with all the content in this, it's probably around like, what is it, 28 to 30 pages. So yeah, it might be a bit expensive with this.
Yeah, and don't forget you have to set it up in multiples of 4. So you got to make sure it's divisible by 4. So it would be like, 28 pages would work, or you'd have to go all the way up to 32 if you wanted to go above 28. So anyway, but yeah, good stuff. I think next year should be pretty exciting. We got a lot of great new projects coming out. We got Clayman coming out. We got our next Mythoverse crowdfund coming out. The important thing is that these are all projects that, you know, are owned and operated by the creators. And they all come from a desire, like you said at the very beginning of the interview. You said the reason you started doing this was you just wanted to make a comic, like, and that was your motivation, that was your goal, that was your impetus. And it wasn't to like say, hey, I want to cash in on a trend, or I want to grift people. I want to tell a good story, and you've always wanted to tell a good story. And that's why you put so much effort and work into scripting this out and designing the character, refining him, and essentially paying out of your own pocket to get these 2 previews done. You know, this is someone that really loves this character and wants to take him places. So this Indiegogo, I think, will be a good test run to see if you're all set to bring it on to the next level. Now, what's really cool is because this campaign is funding books you've already made. Let's say you make a little bit of extra money, you can go straight on into the issue 1. You know, producing issue 1.
Exactly.
And I'm a huge proponent of stretch goals being applied to future product rather than additional swag. I know swag is awesome, but a lot of times I just throw that stuff out. So honestly,
a lot of people have been asking like, oh, well, yeah, Matthew said like, oh, we'll totally do in demand, and we'll totally be able to like cover the cost of the extra comics being printed. It's like, okay, that's totally fine. And then like I told myself, I was like, should we make physical stuff later? It's like, and you know, Matthew can take care of that, but I think for myself, I'm like, yeah, we're just focusing on getting physical copies to people right now. Like, you know, that's how that goes. Like, might do it. Yeah, I might get some physical stuff for Clayman, like either issue 1 or issue 2, because like right now it's like I just don't have the funds or the popularity enough for, you know, to get that going. You know.
Well, for the moment, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like for the moment, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, it took Brian from Rags, you know, years to get to the point where he is right now. So don't get discouraged. You know, just keep at it. You've got a good product. You've got a good artist working with you, and a lot of people have your back. So just take that step, dive in, and see what happens. You know, and then once this succeeds, you move on to the next step. So, well, it was really great talking with you. I love it, and I would love to have you back on again, especially when you go to launch your Indiegogo, so that we can help you get people hyped up for it. But for right now, where can everyone follow you where's the best place to follow you? Like, where are you most active?
Usually I'm very active on like my main account, like Claylix on my Twitter. I also have a secondary account for Clayman content. That's Hero 2022nd.
Okay, so I'm gonna drop a link to your main Twitter account right now. That's twitter.com/Claylex1. And
Yep.
what was your other one?
Hero 22nd.
Ah, there it is. There's Mr. Clayman's image. So there is the secondary account that's dedicated to Clayman specifically. And you can, if you follow him there, there's a link to his main Twitter, ClayLX1. So, all right, beautiful. And this banner here, is this from
This was another one Ivan made. Like, it's like, yeah, shout out to my boy Paul for funding, because I made a GoFundMe for that, for the Clayman Paragon Prime crossover art, and Paul funded the whole thing for us. So that was nice. And also, another shout out to Neostar, who just donated $10 to help out with the GoFundMe to get the beginning pages and stuff for like Clayman issue #1.
Wow, Neostar is fantastic. He is such
He
has so much positive energy, and he puts so much support behind all the creators in this community. We're very lucky to have him. So yeah, I just dropped a link to the GoFundMe in the chat, and I went to it, so we can have a quick look at that. So this is a GoFundMe opened up to help raise funds for Clayman issue 1 cover, pages 1 through 5, and the promo page. Now this is all to pay for art costs, correct?
Yeah, like I know it's very, very costly, but it's like I calculated how much, and obviously I can't disclose my payments to Ivan, because obviously that's private, art kind of thing. But like, yeah, that's the cost of like the cover art, pages 1 to 5, the bonus promo page, and to get it lettered.
Okay. Well, you're definitely putting a lot of heart and energy and enthusiasm into this guy. So I think his debut on Indiegogo should go over pretty well. And the fact that the books are already done means that if you back Clayman on Indiegogo, you'll get it right away. Like, there's not going to be any lag. There's not going to be any delay while the artist finishes penciling up. The books are done, and you'll get them.
Yep.
So I always love backing campaigns like that, because I want to get the books in my hands as soon as possible. So,
and like, if people are worried about like anything, it's like, don't worry. It's like, I will try to update people as soon as there's an update, even if it's good, even if it's bad, you will be updated about what is going to happen. So like, again, you're not just going to be sitting there dust in the wind thinking it's gone. It's not going to be gone. I'll tell you what's going on.
that's great. Yeah. That's a very important piece of advice to anyone who's running, a campaign like that. Like, if you go to our first campaign, there's like almost 60 updates on it, because we wanted to make sure that anyone that traded the product of their time and energy for our silly little stories, we wanted them to know that we were doing everything in our power to fulfill our part of the bargain, even if it was just saying the same thing again, like, no update this week, but we hope to hear some good news next week. And yeah, don't be afraid of your backers. They want to see you succeed. That's why they backed you. And if there are issues, then chances are, as long as you're straight up with them, they will be patient. So there's always a few that aren't, but you know what? The overwhelming majority of them are not of that kind, and they'll be more than happy to cut you some slack, as long as you treat them with enough respect to keep them updated. So, very cool, Mr. Clay. Thank you for coming on our show tonight. I would love to have you back on again anytime, of course, but especially when you go to launch this campaign, because I want to see this one make it to the end successfully, and want to see some more Clayman down the road.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Well, folks, thank you for listening to this interview. What we're going to do right now is I'm just going to fire up a game, and anyone that's on a panel can just say whatever they like, and you guys can discuss whatever you like. But I'm going to fire up, let me see. I'll just do a Dead by Daylight so I can just sort of half pay attention to that and half pay attention to what everyone is saying. So I'm going to fire that up right now. So Brett, Matt, if you have anything you want to talk about, anything at all, now's the time.
Let's see. How is Cyberpunk treating you?
Cyberpunk, I love the game. I absolutely love it. I've been hearing nothing but, complaints from, all the usual suspects, but on my on my 2-year-old machine, it runs on Ultra like a dream. So I don't know what the problem is.
I got a 5-6-year-old machine and it runs perfectly fine, like a 1080 Ti, Well, heck, Power's in here and he could say his 1070 works.
Yeah. I don't even have to upgrade my video card. It works like a dream.
Well, because the people who are complaining are still playing it on a last-gen console.
Yeah. But yeah, I love the game. The story's fantastic. I'm almost done with my first Nomad playthrough, and I definitely want to go through and play the other life paths. But it's a world that I just love visiting. It's a world that I can see myself wandering around in and just enjoying myself doing the side quests. I love V, the character. I love the different things you can do with it. Obviously, Keanu's amazing.
He's breathtaking, you mean?
Yeah, he's breathtaking. And just like all of us, we're all breathtaking. But it's pretty neat to see Keanu play an asshole because you don't often get to see that.
He's always a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to see him as anything but the pure, wholesome ball of awesome that he is. But seeing him in this role, it's a lot of fun. I love the whole conceit of Silverhand and how he interacts with your character and how it gradually starts driving your character insane and all that. I don't have anything really negative to say about it, except there were a couple of funny moments where I was summoning my car, and I was standing next to a lower level that was that had a couple of containers, and the car just drove over the edge and landed on the containers and ended up clipping into them. So it got
Up in there.
So it got stuck, but I was able to stand on the hood and kind of whittle my way into where I could get the prompt to open the door, and I was able to somehow drive out of the container. I don't know how, but it was pretty funny.
See, I was gonna say real quick is that the game did just get patched, so that they fixed a lot of story related stuff and some PC and console issues. So at least that'll help with some people.
Sure, and that was probably the worst graphical glitch I encountered. There was a time though, when I restarted the mission where Panem was driving you into the base, and I died and had to restart it, and I respawned directly inside of the Panem model, so I saw her eyeballs and the hair and all that. But what do you guys? What? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying I came across a glitch where the character's schlong was hanging out with the pants.
It was it was only in the inventory screen, never in game that V just refused to have any. He had freaking short shorts on and no shoes. And it was but after I had to took his pants on and off, then the glitch just disappeared after that.
One really funny moment was when I was riding motorcycles along with Panem when you're trying to track those two vans. She lost her motorcycle. It got stuck on the geometry, but she was stuck in her motorcycle riding pose, and she was just zipping along on the air. It was hilarious.
That's great.
The schlong on my female character was hanging out.
I'd like to point out that the people that are that are trying to treat this as like the worst launch ever tend to forget that Fallout 76 destroyed consoles
Yeah,
and gaming PCs.
like dude,
Yeah, quite. Yeah,
like
quite
dude,
literally.
they freaking doxed people. Like they doxed
Yeah.
you. Like Cyberpunk is like nothing compared to like what the shit
some people-
76 did.
For some people, the game developed sentience and deleted and uninstalled itself from their PCs. Like, so I'll take the
I'll be right
I'll take
back.
the strong popping out of my pants glitch. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's not forget. Let's see. Fallout first. The whole Nuka Cola rum or Nuka Cola Dark, whatever.
Yeah.
That whole fiasco.
The quote unquote canvas bag.
Oh yeah.
And if we want to go back far enough,
yeah, the short.
And let's not forget the wonderful patch for 76 that brought back glitches and game-destroying bugs that other patches patched out.
Yeah.
Have you all
Like-
played 76 recently?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
It's
I didn't
pretty
touch that
epic
shit.
now. It's really epic now. Like it is exactly what it should have been on launch, but it's pretty epic.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most intense Fallout games I've ever played. But like
Still
y'all
no
have said, it should have been done that way from the get-go.
You mean Fallout 76 won't break my console and it's actually decent?
Oh, it's more than decent. It's pretty epic. It's what we all wanted, but it, day late and a dollar short. But it is what we wanted. I will give it that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think I might give it a look.
If you have it and you own it or you get it on sale, I would definitely revisit it. It is definitely, it's pretty sick. Like, especially when you play with people like I was playing with some friends of mine, and I mean, just getting wrecked by super mutants, so much fun.
Yeah, so real quick, back to Cyberpunk. The only problems I've been having are those strange graphical glitches that really I don't care about because they don't affect the game really. They're just funny. But in terms of gameplay, the only problem I ran into was sometimes the AI is so dumb that if they don't have line of sight to you, they'll just stand there and let you blow them away.
Yeah, AI needs a little patching.
Yeah, I remember I noticed this most blatantly during the mission where I was infiltrating Cloud, and I was on my way back out, and the bouncer was standing at the bottom of a flight of stairs, and I could see his legs, but he couldn't see me, so he just stood there. And I just started plinking away at him with my pistol until he died, and that was it.
Yeah, I would say the second time I tried to play through, Cyberpunk went better because the first time I just kind of went in shooting and messed everything up. Okay, because there was just one place you had to like get into and interrogate this guy. I just went in and shooting, and eventually I ended up having to kill him. And then Johnny Silverman comes in and is like, "Well, you fucked that up, didn't you?" And then on the second playthrough, I did everything right, and like it's kind of cool how you can just approach things, but you can mess everything up and still, sort of get what you want, but in a different way. Like when I messed it up, I had to go through the guy's computer.
My question is, how y'all on your second playthroughs when I am still grinding through my first one? That's my question.
I have
Some of y'all are
multiple
speedrunners.
No. Actually, I have like multiple like things going.
Yeah, I have not completed my first playthrough yet.
So you guys play like multiple playthroughs at the same time?
Yeah, I think I'm further in my second playthrough though, because I like how that was, because you have the capacity to really mess up a conversation, like really bad.
Like a certain situation you did, Dylan, where you just walked into the VIP room without a VIP pass, even though you could just get one off of an unconscious patron, and then you had to slaughter everybody.
You have to murder everyone in the club.
But that's Cyberpunk. Like, why not?
Yeah. Overall, I'm in love with the game. I can't wait to have another session.
Hello.
Well, they're going to have a multiplayer out for it.
What?
Yeah, they
What?
are. There's gonna be a multiplayer for it. It's gonna be so epic.
Nice.
We
That's
gotta
gonna be
we gotta do
interesting.
some kind of like Mythoverse like mall session where we just go and wreck the whole map.
That'd be great.
We gotta do something
be
like
Well,
that.
given
That'll be fantastic.
all the search that go midriff, I'm sure Dylan's going to love the Elfia character.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that means I gotta make Theo. I mean, it kind of works though, because he has the whole prosthetic thing going, so kind of fits.
Speaking of Theo,
Yeah, speaking of Theo and prosthetic fits.
Brett is not with us, I don't think.
Fuck.
son of a bitch. Of course he isn't.
Yeah.
I think he might have been killed by Leo.
Was he here earlier? Did I completely miss?
He was, but I think when we started hour 2, he had to go somewhere.
Fair enough. This is the first time I've been able to make Radio Mythoverse in like months because I've had an army unit that I play with, and we do Saturday night ops.
Nice.
Good times.
Well, since you weren't here, I'll pass the good news on to you directly, James. I just got notified that Mythics 2 has completed printing and will be going out hopefully next week. And Hallowed Harvest is right behind it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thrilled.
Yeah, that's good news.
That's very...
I'm glad we'll finally be getting prints of our shit out to people.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah. Yeah, we knew this going in. It was going to take a little bit of time. Especially because Brian was bogging them down with his several thousand books.
Jeez.
I don't think I anticipated it to be that successful.
No, he didn't.
Well, next time we'll know better.
Yeah, well, I didn't go into details about our backup plan, Matt, but we did discuss it quite a bit, so I think next year we got that handled. Hopefully, the situation improves.
Yeah, and the backup plan can also be the place that we can get our convention issues.
Hello, Brett. Welcome back.
Hello.
And Brett's not back yet.
I mean, he's connected. He's just muted. Are there any other major updates I've missed in my absence?
Nothing that I can really share just yet. But Brian and I are working our asses off, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll have very exciting news for early next year in terms of that.
Nice. Welcome back, Brett.
Welcome back, Brett.
Hello.
A word in the chat.
So, are we going to give our little Christmas present to Brett or not?
In a moment, let me kill this survivor real quick.
Okay.
Oh, it's not the same one, damn it. It's another person who looks exactly the same. I was hoping I'll get to use my Mori on her. Damn it. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this so I can we can show Brett that wonderful thing.
I gotta but like you playing Dead by Daylight, it's like I gotta like show my bro to you because he is like a master at that.
Oh, I'm the opposite of a master at this.
Yeah.
If there's such a thing as an anti-master, that's me.
I would actually like to get Vamp in our stream one of these days. She plays that a lot.
Yeah, she's been to rank 1 on both Killer and Survivor, so she'll make me look like a fool. I don't care. I'm playing the killer my daughter dressed up as, so that's all the inspiration. I need.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very wholesome, Dan.
Yes, yes it is.
As wholesome as you can get from a horror game.
Well, she.
If you get, I mean, I was gonna say, if I could somehow get my aunt to like dress up as like the sister with the, and then have her her second son who's like he's only a couple months old to do what was it what was that new killer?
The conjoined twins thing.
The conjoined twins one. I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome.
I haven't even purchased that DLC yet.
Yeah. My bro reviewed. My bro like did his impressions, and yeah, they're okay. Like, yeah, it's like let's see if I can get him on. Like, he'll talk a whole bunch of Dead by Daylight stuff. Hold on.
Come on, I just want to murder one of you assholes. I keep downing different survivors.
Oh, bless your soul for playing Legion, the twins. Oh, okay. Oh, high mid tier. Oh, okay. So he knows his stuff. I told you.
Yeah, it's so weird. My nephew just got dead by daylight.
Oh, okay. I keep telling my bro, like, if like I'm just saying, if you ever like played on Twitch, like you could be the one. Yeah, it's like the one. Like everyone will flock to you to be the Dead by Daylight man. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like he's, in my opinion, he's just very, very busy. Or no. Maybe it's more like he just doesn't want to it's like with me in Team Fortress 2. I sometimes get pissed off at it, and then people sometimes ask me, why do you keep playing it if it makes you angry or something like that? And I'm like, it's the addiction, it's just you've been with it for so long that like you just keep going with it.
Yeah, because the next one will be better. That's the answer.
Yeah, don't get me started on TF2 with that, because I'm like, Valve does not give a crap about that. They got Source 2, but they'd rather port Counter-Strike Global Offensive than Team Fortress 2 onto the Source 2 engine.
Haha.
Yeah.
I think they focus more on Dota than anything else, though.
Yeah, they did a whole bunch of stuff on Dota. Like the amount of cries of anguish people did when they did a card game on Dota. Like, oh my god.
To me, it just seems like they can't count to 3.
Yeah. Well,
They're close. They're close.
Well, they the best they could do was make basically a prequel via Half-Life Alyx. Well, that's fine because it was a prequel. I'm not going to count that because that, excluding like maybe the ending or like the post
like
whatever Half-Life Alyx. But yeah, it's not. It's most of it is not a sequel.
Right.
I got the impression it was a side story or something.
Oh, and Half-Life Alyx? Yeah, like I kept thinking it played more like a spin-off, but a good spin-off.
When are we getting Portal 3?
I don't know. I wish.
The same date we're getting Left 4 Dead 3. Fucking never.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest, out of all the Valve games I've played, Portal and Portal 2 are my favorite. Like, I've played a little bit of Half-Life 1. I haven't touched Half-Life 2 yet, so my opinion may change. But honestly, like, Portal 1 is just a great little short experience, and then Portal 2 takes that experience and then adds a bunch of fun story on top of it and new interesting gameplay elements. I just thought it was like a very solid set of puzzle games.
Yeah, and I did the co-op in Portal 2. We have fun with that.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one. You might could get Portal 2.5 than a free. Yeah, true. Like it probably like a Half-Life Alyx. Like that would be disorienting to do Portal in VR. Like I don't know how they would do that, but yeah, we most likely get a Portal.
No. Don't do Portal in VR. Do Portal and add just one new type of portal. Like, add a new type of portal. I think that's actually something that's happening with a community mod. They have, like, a time travel portal that makes it especially mind-fucky.
Okay, my match is complete, so let's go ahead and show off that
Alrighty.
thingy.
Okay.
Merry
But
Christmas,
Dan,
Brett.
I know you're old enough to remember this, but it kind of I've seen like other people comment on this, but it seems like once Half-Life came out, shooters went from being Doom clones to being Half-Life clones, sort of.
Yeah, can we go back to Doom clones, please?
Well, Half-Life was called.
Actually, let's keep the
Half-Life.
Let's keep the Half-Life clones.
Half-Life was itself called a Doom clone when it was released, obviously. But
Yeah.
the game that
It
came out
wasn't
before
quite
that
like
one,
Doom.
the game that came out before that one, that actually started moving things in a different direction was Jedi Knight. That had much more like almost more of a stealth approach, more puzzles, and you couldn't solve your problem by charging in and blasting everything. And it had alternate fire modes, and it had all that stuff that Half-Life also had.
I love Jedi Knight.
Jedi Knight was fantastic. I loved it. It was very difficult, and I picked all the wrong force powers, and I sucked, but it was difficult. Yeah, I loved it. All right, so real quick, let's go ahead and open this bad boy. So Brett, have a look at this.
I had to close the tab, so I wanted to check on my phone.
I don't know how visible it's going to be on your phone, but give it a try.
Oh my god, I was gonna say too, like, I know it's random, but like I got so mad at Cyberpunk because I thought they destroyed all my saves. So like when I checked on my saves, like apparently the update, right? It saved my saves. So my level 15 Nomad is okay. He's not dead. I didn't have to restart all over again.
James, I gave you a wrench.
Thank you.
I just now saw that chat message.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I have 2 emails. I have one that's like kind of a gaming email. I have like a personal one.
Well, you're right about something, Dan.
What?
It's not super visible on my phone because for some reason, even though I'm turning my phone on its side, the screen does not want to cooperate in full screen.
Oh man.
Maybe if I close the chat window. Yep, still nothing, but I can make out what it's supposed to be.
Leave it to the big to gay things up.
Let me zoom in a little bit here. Let me see if that helps.
I'll post it in the chat. I'll post it in.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Make out what it's supposed
Very
to
nice, Dan. Very nice.
All right. Well, I'll zoom back out, but can you see it at all, Brett?
It's plenty. I think I got the idea.
All right, here.
No, you don't. Not yet.
All right.
You don't.
All right.
No. Look,
Brett, I'll put it in our chat.
You know what? I'm just gonna blue ball all you motherfuckers on this.
No,
No,
get
you are
nothing.
not, you bitch. This is your Christmas present, and you will fucking see it.
Get fucked.
Brett, I tagged
Frog
you.
is like Frog Champ. Oh.
No, Brett, I tagged you. At least come and look at this.
No, I will deny you guys all. I
You
will deny
will
you.
see it, you fucker.
All right, here's page 2.
Seriously, who let the Squidward sounding motherfucker on this chat?
Oh, Brett. Ow.
Okay, so here's page 2, something that'll probably kill the stream, but
Okay.
at this point it's fine. We're about done anyway, but
We're used to Dylan's art crashing a stream.
yeah.
So, Dylan and Gorgonite, would you like to explain Art's present?
Oh my god. So the guy's basically got a vibrator for Jesus.
That is Theopolis. He is missing a hand. That is his.
Wacky Slush is here? Oh god. I was gonna say Cyberpunk came early in the comic form.
Jeez.
Oh well, if Brett can't see it, it kind of ruins the fun.
It's like they
makes me
only got you know, they probably wouldn't make something like that aside from the whole Mr. Stud thing, you know.
Well, come on, you're surrounded by adverts that are all about sex work in that game. I'm
Oh,
astonished.
yeah, you got Mr. Stud. You got
The Watson
you got
whore, whatever the hell.
you got the one woman with like the transsexual woman
Yeah.
with the penis.
Yeah.
Brett, are you at least not the slightest bit curious on how we torture Maeve
Oh my god!
in this comic?
Page 2. Oh.
If it blue balls you guys, I'm happy.
No,
Fucking
no, Brett.
Scrooge.
No, I was hoping this would at least transition into something I want to discuss with you. like something
Save for
serious.
after the show, Dylan.
Yeah, yes.
All right.
The only time I've heard Brett talk like this was when the time we derailed the World of the Apocalypse campaign.
Brett. Okay. Money got put into this. You should at least give a.
Yes, Brett. Gorgonite bought you a present.
You paid somebody to draw that.
You guys get nothing, and you'll like it.
Hey, I just gave tacit approval. I don't really have much stake in this.
Oh, Brett. They just showed it to me. I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
Merry Christmas, Brett. We love you.
I was like, oh, we love you, and then you say, fuck you.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it for tonight then, on that note. So thank you, Clay, for coming on to the show.
No problem.
I'm really excited for your project. Good day, sir.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
All
I
right.
said good day.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing.
Nothing.
Now that's probably, we're probably going to get demonetized for that.
Well, you guys, okay.
It's not like the stream was making money anyway, Clay, so...
I was gonna say, you guys don't make any money. No offense, you guys don't make any money so far with Twitch stream.
No, it's fine. That's not really the point.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Don't drama here. That's the problem.
yeah. Anyway, so thank you, Clay, for coming on. Thank you, everyone, for enjoying the attempt to allow Brett to have a Merry Christmas, but he was being a Scrooge about it. But that's fine. That is absolutely his prerogative. So, thank you, Brett, for being as good a sport as you can be under the circumstances. And we are going to end it here. We've got to end this fun right now, but we'll be back next week, or maybe we won't. We'll see. In the meantime, everyone have a wonderful, safe holiday, and we will be starting strong next year with Clay, with Adobe Kroger, and with Hallowed Harvest going out along with Mythics Issue 2. So, thank you, everyone. Until next time, stay safe and stay sane.